Rey from Star Wars sequel trilogy 2015 to 2019. Rey was portrayed by Daisy Ridley. So Rey was supposed to be the fresh new face of Star Wars, but instead, she became one of the most divisive characters in the saga. Critics called her a Mary Sue because she had Jedi-level skills without training. Imagine Luke trained with Obi-Wan, right? And Anakin as well. But Rey, she could mind trick stormtroopers.
Drop your weapons!
It's okay that we're here.
It's okay that you're here.
Did she do that to us?
Master lightsaber combat, and even defeat Kylo Ren with barely any experience. To fans who grew up watching Luke and Anakin struggle to earn their power, Rey felt like a shortcut. The infamous duel in The Force Awakens, where she beats Kylo Ren on her first try, ignited endless debates. Instead of coming across as relatable underdog, she was seen as a symbol of Disney, forcing a girl power narrative at the expense of storytelling. Captain Marvel from the Captain Marvel movie 2019. Captain Marvel was portrayed by Brie Larson. Carol Danvers entered the MCU with a bold tagline, "The strongest Avenger."
Come on now, dawg.
But instead of hype, it created hostility.
I want to serve.
Many fans felt Captain Marvel was being marketed as a political statement rather than an actual character. Brie Larson's stoic performance didn't help, with critics saying she lacked charm or vulnerability. In Avengers Endgame, her last-minute showdown with Thanos felt unearned. Especially since she hadn't been part of the long MCU journey like Iron Man or Captain America. Off-screen, this is what made it worse. Larson's comments about not caring about white male critics poured gasoline on the fire,
Come on, man.
making Carol one of the most polarizing figures in Marvel history. This is where it kind of started, where actors are being too forceful with their political ideas, and it began affecting the movie itself. Ghostbusters Team, Ghostbusters 2016. The Ghostbusters team was portrayed by Melissa McCarthy, Kristen Wiig, Kate McKinnon, and Leslie Jones. So the idea of rebooting Ghostbusters with an all-female cast could have been fun. But when Sony marketed the movie as a feminist victory instead of a comedy first, fans revolted. Critics hammered the script for relying on improv gags and turning male characters into bumbling idiots.
Are you seeing anyone right now?
Seeing anyone?
Yeah, just for business purposes.
I'm seeing all three of you. In front of me.
Leslie Jones's role drew backlash for playing into stereotypes, undermining the very progressive message the film claimed to push. What made it worse was how the studio dismissed criticism as sexist trolling, even though many fans were more upset about lazy writing than gender. In the end, the movie lost tens of millions, and that's why they instead moved on with these next Ghostbusters films. Admiral Haldo, Star Wars The Last Jedi 2017. Admiral Haldo was portrayed by Laura Dern. The Admiral was introduced as a bold new resistance leader, but her role quickly rubbed fans the wrong way. Instead of inspiring confidence, she constantly dismissed Poe Dameron, treating him less like a trusted commander and more like an unruly child.
Get clear of the cruiser. Load the transports.
Right away, Admiral. Yeah, I was afraid you'd say that.
Vice Admiral Haldo, I am relieving you of your command for the survival of this ship, its crew, and the Resistance.
Pow.
The problem wasn't just attitude, it was the writing. Her refusal to explain her plan to anyone, leading to Poe's mutiny subplot, made the Resistance look incompetent. Although her hyperspace kamikaze maneuver was visually stunning, it felt like an unearned moment for a character the audience barely knew. To many fans, Haldo wasn't a hero. She was a forced feminist archetype that derailed the plot.
What's our plan?
Our plan, Captain?
I just want to know what's going on.
Of course you do.
Rose Tico, Star Wars The Last Jedi 2017. Plenty of Star Wars in this list, guys. They're taking over the list. I wonder why. So Rose was portrayed by Kelly Marie Tran. Rose Tico entered The Last Jedi as an everyday resistance fighter, but instead of being beloved for her relatability, she became one of the most disliked characters in Star Wars. Her subplot with Finn, centered on the Canto Bight Casino, was widely criticized as filler. Instead of pushing the main story forward, it delivered lectures about war profiteering, animal rights, and morality. Her now infamous line,
I saved you. Tell me. That's how we're gonna win. Not fighting what we hate. Saving what we love.
Stop the cap.
was mocked as preachy and out of place in a galaxy-wide war. Audiences didn't hate Tran herself, but they felt Rose was shoehorned in as a woke lesson instead of a character with purpose. Ariel, The Little Mermaid, 2023. Ariel was portrayed by Halle Bailey. Disney's decision to cast Halle Bailey as Ariel made headlines long before the movie hit theaters. For supporters, it was a win for representation. For critics, it was a case of forced diversity in a classic fairy tale. Bailey's singing was praised, but trailers showing her in the iconic part of your world scene became a lightning rod for debate. Many argued Disney wasn't reimagining the story in bold new ways. They were just race-swapping the character to score political points. While the film performed decently, it became less about the story of Ariel and more about the cultural war surrounding her casting. SheHulk, from SheHulk Attorney at Law, 2022. SheHulk was portrayed by Tatiana Maslany. Jennifer Walters, aka SheHulk, had potential to be a fun addition to the MCU, but her show leaned hard into fourth wall breaks and feminist monologues, often at the expense of superhero action. The most controversial moment comes when she tells Bruce Banner she controls her anger better than him.
Here's the thing, Bruce. I'm great at controlling my anger. I do it all the time. When I'm catcalled in the street, when incompetent men explain my own area of expertise to me, I do it pretty much every day, because if I don't, I will get called emotional. I'm an expert at controlling my anger because I do it infinitely more than you.
Despite of Bruce's lifelong trauma as the Hulk, fans saw this as dismissive and arrogant. Instead of celebrating her strength, the show constantly poked fun at men and leaned into Twitter-style commentary about sexism. My goodness, don't you miss this kind of Hulk? What happened to Hulk? Let's hope with the new Spider-Man film, Hulk will regain himself. Who knows? So what could have been Marvel's legal comedy gem became another example for critics of pandering disguised as empowerment. Velma Dinkley, from Velma, 2023. Velma was portrayed or voiced by Mindy Kaling. So Velma was once a beloved nerdy mystery solver. In the HBO Max reboot, she became a snarky, self-absorbed character who spent more time mocking her friends than solving mysteries.
Normally, origin stories are about tall, handsome guys struggling with the burden of being handed even more power. Yeah, it was me, not Fred and his weird fan.
Reimagined as a South Asian lesbian with biting commentary about race and privilege, the show leaned into meta humor, but audiences weren't laughing. Fans hated how Scooby-Doo was stripped out entirely, and Velma's constant fourth wall breaking felt smug instead of clever. Rather than updating the character with respect, many felt the show used her as a mouthpiece for agenda-driven jokes.
I'm a suspect? I thought lesbians were good at solving crimes. It's like the one positive stereotype perpetuated by cop shows.
The backlash was so strong, it became one of the most rated shows on Rotten Tomatoes.
God's not real if you two morons are running this investigation.
Get out of here. Get out of here, man.
That's 8 minutes. Thank you for watching. Like the video and don't forget to subscribe for more flops.